Okay, you're gonna kick this off. Am I gonna be on your show? Or are you gonna be on my show?
We'll be on each other's show, man. Let's just share it. You know what I'm saying? Let's link up.
That sounds
Let's
good.
do
That
it.
sounds good. Okay, right. So
Transcontinental box talk right here.
great stuff. So you can kick the show off instead.
All right, cool. Well, you know what? Why don't you start off talking a little bit about what you do? Because it's not, you don't just do boxing. I know you have a boxing channel, but you have a main channel that does entertainment. You do all kinds of interviews. So tell me a little more about your background, man.
Okay, what can I tell you? My name's Ingram Jones. I've been involved in sports and media for many years. I used to coach a sport called cricket. I don't know how much you in the USA know about cricket. It's not sport. It's like baseball for you guys, but a bit more technical.
Okay.
Yeah. And during my journey on my rise, as they say, from doing grassroots to almost close to international cricket, I discovered the media and how biased the media was. And at the same time, the flip side of that, I was also involved in boxing. I had a professional career. I was going to have a professional career. I'd come up to the States. I did some sparring over in Roy Jones's gym, over in Florida, down in Miami. Used to get up in the morning, do the runs in Miami in the morning on the beach. I've just loads of things, so much to talk about. But yeah, so now Bayloric TV basically came out. I said, you know what? It's no point me slating off the media. It's not going to solve anything. Let me build a brand myself. So it's unbiased media. You know, you do it, try to be as unbiased as possible.
Yeah.
With the box, I'm not so sure if I'm unbiased. I think I've got my bias there. If anyone's honest, they've got biases. There's some fighters they like, some fighters they don't like. But the entertainment stuff and the other stuff, like the alternative media stuff, I mean, for 2 years, it was birthed in the Caribbean. And, you know, we did lots of stuff in the Caribbean, news and all sorts of stuff that wasn't being covered. It was being back to the UK, to America. So she's from Peoria, Illinois. So, you know, a lot of stuff with that was happening as well. So, it's a combination of things. You frozen.
Yeah. You froze too, but I got you now.
Okay, cool.
I figured that would happen at least 5 more times before the end of this, right? Yeah. Shit. Technology, man. All right, well, I was going to say, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, about my background. So I'm from Detroit. I don't know if you've heard of that city.
Detroit, Michael Moore.
Not Michael Moore, but okay. He's from the area. He's from Flint. But yeah. It's like we call it the Rust Belt, so it's kind of an industrial city.
Yes.
Come from that kind of background. It's a big fight town. You know, it's big into boxing. Grew up in the sport, but basketball, football was my thing. You know, I excelled at that. I was a pretty good athlete. Went into the Marine Corps after school. And in the Marines, I played basketball. I boxed a little bit for them, too. I just did amateurs. I never did anything near pro, nothing like that. Some tournaments and stuff like that. And long story short, I moved here to Los Angeles in 2010, literally with nothing more than what would fit in my car. I have a PT Cruiser. I don't know if it's a little hatchback. And literally the clothes that fit in my car, I drove my ass out here. Had no job, just kind of started over at the age of 30. And I started hanging out at gyms and just met a few guys, and through them, got put on to a couple of cards, a couple of small amateur cards here, started writing, and just worked my way up. In the last year or so, I've been hustling it full time. My girlfriend basically kicked me in the ass and said, you need to do this shit full time because you're good. So I got to give the credit to her. She's the one who really did that. And it's been good, man. It's been real good. I'm contributing to a few different sites, a few different channels. And, you know, I try to, like you, man, I see so much bias. And I think it's the social media and all that shit. And there's fanboys, right? You got the Floyd fanboys, the Pacquiao fanboys, and they hate each other. There's no in the middle. So
no, you've got one other set of social media. You've got another set of fanboys as well. It's the fanboys with the cameras. They're the worst ones.
Yeah, they're the worst ones, man. I absolutely agree with you. And it seems like anybody now with a damn camera can do a YouTube channel. And I feel like I came to the game late. I wish I started this shit 5 years ago, because I feel like there's so many guys who started and they're just fanboys. And things are so polarized now with Al Heyman and Top Rank and Golden Boy, and everyone's got their little media people kind of almost working for them as like a press release person. They see a press release and they tweet the shit out of it. Nobody writes real articles anymore. So yeah, I mean, with my videos, I just try to keep things objective and in the middle. I just feel like we can find middle ground. You know what I'm saying? That's my philosophy. And if we can laugh about the shit too, let's laugh about it.
Absolutely. I mean, being middle ground, but you see, having middle ground with fanboys, you can't have a middle ground. There's no such thing as middle ground, and there's no such thing as debate, discussion, or being constructive. Those things don't work.
Yeah.
It's either you love or you hate.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't agree with them, then you're a hater.
Yeah. That's one of the most overused words. It's right up there with ducked.
Yes.
Champion's overused. There's so many words now that are overused in the boxing media.
The word that's not used a lot is belt holder. I like that term, belt holder.
Belt holder or titleist. I say titleist.
I put belt holder and domestic, as we say in the UK. Love to use that word, domestic.
Yeah.
Calling somebody domestic, it's like you put that next to animals, like domestic animals. Like,
domesticated.
it's kind of like, Cage, you belong here, you don't fit anywhere else, this is your level, domestic.
Yeah.
You're not worth anything else, we're not going to talk to you about it. Almost like, that's what you are, you're scum, you're domestic, that's what you're at. And no more. Your whole life, nothing matters. It doesn't matter if you're a good person, it doesn't matter if you've got a great character, it doesn't matter if you've got great personality, it doesn't matter if you put your heart and soul into boxing. You're domestic. Don't ever forget it. And we can remind you week in, week out on our commentaries, you're domestic.
I gotta remember that word, man. I never knew that word. I know some words that you guys use. You guys use some crazy ass words for English that over here I'm like, what the hell are they talking about, man? Like, you go to the loo and there's all these words, but I didn't know domestic, so now I'll take that one with me.
Just listen to Sky Sports, you'll get a lot of the domestic.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Sky Sport. Let me ask you about the boxing media over there in the UK.
Okay.
Here in America with HBO, Showtime isn't as bad, but with HBO and some of them, it just seems to be like they are basically a promoter themselves. They're like a cheerleader themselves. And, you look at HBO with Pacquiao, you would think that, Floyd Mayweather never existed once he bounced over to Showtime, right? It was all Pacquiao, Floyd sucks. Is it the same thing over there with the Sky Sports and all that?
It's cringeworthily worse, because you've actually got a promoter attached to Sky Sports, which is Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Matchroom dominates Sky Sports, because basically Eddie Hearn has got all the Sky dates. So, obviously, he's fighting to get promotion. So, hey, why not? And it's, if you're actually a boxing fan and you actually take the time to listen, those fans that actually do take the time to listen and say, you know what, I have to turn the volume down, because there are times where two guys in the ring are fighting, as you know, but they'll only talk about that one fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, in one particular commentator said, oh, he's getting hit back. He's getting hit back in he's getting caught with punches. Never seen this in his career.
Yeah, never seen this in a boxing match before.
I've never seen this in a boxing match. I'm like, no, he stepped up, you idiot. He stepped up. He's now fighting decent opponents now. He's getting hit back. He's meant to get hit back. It's like, what? He's not meant to get hit back? Like, what sort of... And this person's commentating. I'm like...
it's like the commentator's supposed to be unbiased. They're supposed to just talk about the action. Yeah.
That doesn't happen. And then when they use the word world class, I mean, world class to me means you've been, in the top 10 or the top 5, and you've been beating guys on a consistent basis, not beating them, taking them close. World class doesn't mean you've beat somebody in the top 50 and bloody you're in the number 2 ranked in the world, and you've not fought nobody in the top 10, but yet the WBC rank you as the number 2 in the world. It's like, what? You've not fought anybody in the top 10, close to the top 10, but he's ranked WBC number 2 in the world. And the guy that you beat, he's not even ranked in the top 10 either. Oh wait, is he even in the top 20? But he's world class. What determines world class? I just thought it was being consistently at the top level, either being a champion or a top contender for a long period of time. Or at least 3-4 years, at least, consistently.
Yeah. Well, let's follow up on that. Let's talk about Andre Ward. Because you talk about the last 2-3 years, right? And here's a guy who, I'm American, so I'm biased here, I'll admit it. When Andre was cleaning out the Super Six, and he won that tournament, he cleaned out his division, I was excited. And I'm thinking, this is going to be... From 2012 to now, he's done shit, right? He's done nothing. And I've been very, very critical of him. I've taken him off my pound-for-pound rankings. Even though he just came back and fought somebody who wasn't ranked at light heavyweight. Where do you rank a guy like that right now? I still don't rank him because I don't know what division he fights in. I don't know if he can get down to 68. When's he going to fight again? Who's he going to fight?
I think a situation like that is you know what their quality was, or you know what their quality is. So do you leave them unranked and you say, well, when you fight somebody in the top 10, then we can put you back in that ranking? I mean, it's a disrespect to those people who are in the top 10 pound for pound, and they fought 2-3 times a year. Like something like Kovalev, for example, who's fought 2-3 times in a year, and he's in the pound for pound top 10. And the guys he's fought in the top 10. Sorry, alarm.
Don't worry about it. This is an intermission, folks. I will have some more of my drink while Ingram takes care of his alarm there. This is like in radio when they have dead radio and you're listening and you're like, what the hell?
Right.
We just had some dead radio right there. It's all good.
Wake up to have the interview with you. To talk with you, right. Okay, so back we are. Sorry about that. So we're talking about Kovalev. Someone like Kovalev, where'd you rank them? If you're going to put Andre Ward in that top 10 of pound for pound list, where'd you put someone like Kovalev, who's been fighting consistently? Where'd you put Floyd Mayweather, who's just fought the pound for pound number 2 in the world? Where would you put him? Do you put him out? Do you knock him out there? Where would you put someone like Rigondeaux who's fighting? What do you do? These guys are fighting on a consistent basis. So where Andre Ward comes in, I think he's got to fight somebody ranked in the top 10 to get a ranking back, at least.
Exactly.
You can't just keep him in the top 10 because pound for pound top 10 because he did something 3 years or 2 years ago.
That doesn't count anymore. I mean, I'm starting to hate pound for pound lists. It's starting to I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to do them anymore. But it's overall body of work, but it's also recent body of work. And I don't know, a guy like Ward, one big win against somebody in the top 10, he goes right back toward the top. But right now, and I've taken a lot of heat. You've seen me hate, right? So I got a lot of Ward fanboys on my ass about that. But what I try to explain to them is, if you're Gennady Golovkin and your goal right now is to clean out the middleweight division, you're not going to jump right into a fight with Ward. And you don't even know if Ward can make 168 right now. And no name, but outside of diehard boxing fans, nobody knows who the hell Andre Ward is. People are starting to recognize Golovkin. He was actually nominated for the Best Fighter Award at the ESPYs, even though Ronda Rousey won it. You know how I feel about that.
There's a picture out there at the moment with two of the most overrated fighters in the world.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Rousey and Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah.
Well,
that's ridiculous to put them in the same ballpark, man. I just.
But I'll tell you something. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. Whoever is the marketing genius behind Gennady Golovkin is doing fabulous work.
They're doing it the right way.
What boxers? See, no no disrespect, but a lot of boxers out there that not really that smart. You know, they say, "I've got gloves, we'll fight."
Right.
But what about your marketing campaign? You
Yeah.
know, that's so important. And all these guys signed to Al Heyman now. They're all lumped in one box. But how many of them have got personality? How many of them dominate social media?
Two.
How many of them have got...
There's two. I think Keith Thurman and
Yes.
Deontay Wilder are the two that have that potential to be that next star, but they're not promoted. I never see them. You know, you have Sky Sports over there. I guess our version here is ESPN. I never see them on ESPN. I never see them on any of the late shows, the talk shows here.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have that. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't do that, or they don't want to do it because, hey, I'm a fighter. I've got gloves, and I'm just interested in getting a paycheck from Al Heyman. You know,
and when you sign with Al Heyman, you're kind of letting him pull all the strings. It's kind of like the UFC guys with Dana White. He controls their destiny.
Al Heyman gets you paid. Al Heyman gets you money, gets you paid. Al Heyman looks after you managerial-wise or gets you in to get the fights. But outside the fight, you need to build some sort of a affinity with the fans.
That's the one thing you mentioned Floyd Mayweather earlier. And to me, that's going to be Floyd's legacy. He changed the game when it comes to social media, using the power of social media to promote yourself. And even like the reality TV stuff, like with the 24/7s on HBO, the All Access and Showtime, the TMZs, like all that stuff. He used that to his advantage. Yeah.
Shots as well.
What's that?
Shots.
Yeah. I heard. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, what other fighter is doing it that way themselves?
Here's another thing. When Floyd Mayweather retires, all those fighters under Floyd Mayweather Promotions, who's managing their social media? What's going to happen to them?
Dude, they're sparring partners for Floyd. They just work out in his gym and he spars with them, and like that. I don't know. He had a record label. I'm still waiting for that first single, Floyd. Where's the Filthy Rich Records? I'm still waiting for that first single, man. Yeah, that's all gonna.
He invests in a lot of things that are terrible or just.
Yeah.
But that's I don't know. I've looked into it, but you hear people say things, but you know. I mean, look, is it Badu Jack part of his camp?
Yeah.
World champion. Who knows about Badu Jack?
Yeah.
He should be out there on late night shows. Hey, I'm the champion of the world. You know, he should be doing the thing. He should be out there selling breakfast cereal. I don't know.
Something.
I don't know.
Sell something. Yeah. You know, just thinking of like promotion and well, Floyd's next fight is rumored to be on free TV here in America on CBS against Andre Berto. I see this.
Oh my God, that's a great fight, don't you think?
Yeah. Said nobody ever. Yeah. Nobody ever said. Even Floyd knows. He's like, shit, we got to put this one out for free, man, to get people to watch this. But my thing is, if you're Al Heyman, you're trying to build up these fighters, and if you're Floyd and you're trying to build up your fighters, put somebody in a co-feature that we give a shit about and actually promote them. And I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do with this. I know they're not going to make money on this fight. But they already made their money on the Pacquiao fight. But if they... Go ahead.
I'm going to say something to you. Take you back to the Floyd Mayweather Sugar Shane Mosley fight. Now, a lot of people hoped Mosley would beat Floyd. And in that second round, people's dreams were actually coming true.
Yeah.
Floyd was rocked. He was hurt. And I'm sure that's probably the most replayed clip for Floyd Mayweather haters all the time. Been getting rocked like that. It's like, ooh, he almost got knocked out. He almost beat it. So now I think to myself, if Andre Berto had that moment, or has that moment against Floyd, and if we were to follow up, I would expect Mosley to do what he did, and he were to cause the upset and the sensation, where would Floyd's legacy be?
It'd be shit. Here's the problem with this whole undefeated record thing. And Roy Jones started this. It started with Roy Jones. the minute you take that first L, it's over. And my argument's always been, had Floyd taken the fights we wanted him to take, right? Had he fought guys, even just coming up like Casamayor, Costa had he fought Paul Williams, Sergio Martinez, Antonio Margarito, had he lost one or two of those fights, it wouldn't change my opinion that he's still the best of this era. It would not change my opinion on that. He's clearly the best of this era. It's Floyd, it's Manny, it's Vladimir Klitschko, in my opinion. Those are the three all-time greats of this era. But because he has that it's like you said, man, if some freak accident occurred and he took a KO, man, that all comes crashing down in one punch. It's crazy. And that's why he's fighting Berto. That's why he's not fighting Sean Porter or Keith Thurman. He sure as hell ain't fighting no Gennady Golovkin right now. You know.
But if it were to happen, then everything that he's done, does that destroy that legacy?
It's like buying a brand new Corvette and you drive off the lot and a bird shits on it. That's what, it's not the same car. You know what I'm saying? Or, you scratch it, you smash a headlight. It'd be like that. It'd just be tarnished instantly.
But is Andre Berto then become the all-time TBE?
Yeah. Is he the pound for pound number one? Right?
Does he start wearing the cap with the TBE?
Yeah, right.
Does that happen? No.
He'll be wearing it after the fight when he cashes his check. And him and Floyd are hanging out at the casino having a drink together.
If he were to cause a sensation, I know everyone's laughing off now, but if he were to cause a sensation,
it would be insane. I guess you'd have justification for a rematch, and that one would be on pay-per-view, and that one would be $200 with an even worse undercard than Mayweather Pacquiao. That's probably what they do.
we hope it doesn't happen. But I want to come back to this undefeated thing for 1 second.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. People talk about Marciano. Okay, that's for the heavyweights. Floyd isn't a heavyweight.
Different era, too. Totally.
But hold on. Julio Cesar Chavez, wasn't he like 89-0?
Yeah.
So what the hell are they talking about Floyd in this getting to 50? I don't see. I don't understand.
That's a good point. Look.
I remember when Chavez lost his record, it was against Frankie Randall, and he got dropped. He got hit with that punch so hard, I heard on the television set. It would.
Yeah.
And I remember Chavez going down.
His dreams shattered.
Yeah, it's like Chavez is down! Chavez is down!
But here's the thing. Chavez kept fighting. He had great fights after that. He won titles after that. And it doesn't matter that he lost. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I mean, you look at... We could talk about this all day. Some of the best fighters in history have taken losses, embarrassing losses. And it doesn't matter. It just, if you come back from it. My whole thing with Floyd is, when people call him the best ever, you have to put on blinders to so much. You have to ignore so much information about so many other fighters to call Floyd the best ever.
He's the best ever promoter.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He's the best matchmaker in boxing history.
And to his bank balance, he probably is, in terms of athletes, and the money's got his bank balance. I don't know how many other athletes can argue him being the best ever in terms of lucratively.
Well, look, the contract he signed with CBS, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be duplicated. Not anytime soon. It will someday, but it's going to be 20, 30 years from now before something like that is duplicated. That 6-fight deal with what? $200-300 million? I mean, yeah, that's insane. But, Floyd is seen by a lot of people as the bad guy right now, right? And I look at Mike Tyson, who was 20 years ago public enemy number one, the most hated man in the world. And now he's America's sweetheart. He's doing theater. He's got a cartoon. He's doing movies, right? He's America's sweetheart because ultimately Mike was brutally, brutally honest. And he got people in his life that forced him to deal with his shit. I don't know if that's going to happen for Floyd. I don't know if 20 years from now we're going to see Floyd doing cartoons and doing The Hangover Part 50. We're not going to...
But Floyd hasn't experienced that crash. We haven't got that image of him rolling around on a canvas looking for his gum shield or getting being put as the devil versus God with Christian and Muslim with the whole Holyfield
Oh
and
shit! Yeah, the ear
Tyson
biting.
thing. He had Lennox Lewis. Well, Tyson's been knocked out. He's been destroyed. He's been disgraced. Even a fight with him with Kevin McBride, if you remember that.
Oh shit!
Almost. I mean, look at all those images. So he's been almost close to humiliation. Been sent behind bars. Floyd. Oh yeah, he went behind bars, fine. But Floyd hasn't gone through that level of
No.
destruction in his life as a fighter, and so therefore, at the moment, that's difficult. Should Floyd suffer a loss and get brutally knocked out, and then come back, then we may love him. We may love him then.
Probably love him more, yeah, because he came back.
We love him more because you know what? You got knocked out. You got knocked out. You got what you deserved. A lot of people out there want to see him get knocked out, and the fact they're not seeing him get knocked out, that makes it even worse. That perpetuates the hate for me. I think.
Yeah, it does.
People love Carl Froch. People kind of dislike Carl Froch. Never got knocked out. Never got knocked out. Once the fighter gets knocked out, there's that. There you go. You deserve that. People kind of move on, but it hasn't happened with Floyd.
Because you get humbled.
Yeah. That hasn't happened with Floyd. So.
Huh. That's a good point. I wonder, he has a history of domestic violence.
Cool.
He's done some jail time, and I just wonder if 3-4 years after he retires, another incident comes up. He goes to jail for 5 years. So, I mean, like a major jail sentence, how that might change him, how that might humble him. And if he loses his money, I know it sounds impossible. He's got so much of it. But I just wonder what it would take for him to kind of come back down to earth. It just seems like he's surrounded by so many yes men, I don't know if he's going to ever be that beloved figure outside of his Twitter universe and his Instagram universe. If he's ever going to be that beloved figure he wants to be.
Let's see what he does when he retires. And that's the thing. And when he retires and he's out of the limelight, A, can he stay out of the limelight? B, now that he's not walking around being called the champ, because he's no longer that champion, he's no longer going to be on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to get that sort of media attention that he had before. And then after he has served his paymasters, he no longer is necessary.
Yeah.
So you could see Floyd Mayweather spending a lot of time behind bars because they're now, you know what, we've made enough money with you.
And that's how it goes, man. That's the reality of the situation.
You know the story there, don't you?
Yeah.
So we have to see what happens when Floyd retires. Whether he actually has the happy life to spend the money that he wants, or will he be spending all that money, his hard-earned money, on trying to fight bail and this and that and the other. And we don't know what's waiting for Floyd after boxing and what shots are waiting for him out there. He can't run to boxing afterwards to earn money and stuff. We don't know, and we don't know if he's actually going to come back later in life because he hasn't got the money.
See, and that's the thing. Guys like him, if he comes back well past his best, those reflexes are gone. Man, you look at guys like Roy Jones and other people, and it's tragic, right? But like Roy got humbled, and it's like you said, since Roy got humbled and knocked out, people love Roy now.
There you go.
So, but I look at Pacquiao, Floyd's rival. He's always going to be beloved in his home country and everything, but I think he's one of those guys that's going to end up broke, man. I think he's going to end up flat broke because he has a lot of people using him right now.
Yeah. And he goes and re-signs for Arum. Question mark. What is it that Arum's got? I don't know. I've always felt uncomfortable with his relation with Arum. I don't know what sort of relation they have or what Arum knows about Pacquiao that would make him re-sign with a man that basically, I don't think, if Pacquiao left Arum and he did things by himself, I'm sure he could earn more money.
Yeah. Sure. But he'd spend it before he even had it, man.
You think so?
He does. If you look at all his hangers-on and all his entourage and all these people connected to his political life in the Philippines, just taking his money. I know he's had to borrow money from Arum before a fight. He's had to take loans from Arum before a fight, and then when he gets paid, the purse, he pays Arum back. And then he's got these managers and all these other people that he really doesn't need around. I don't know. That's the one. Again, you look at Floyd. Floyd manages his money. He does things the way he wants to do it. And to me, that's his legacy. It's not his record. I'm not that impressed with Floyd's record when you compare it to somebody like Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, a lot of these other guys, right?
If you compare it to that era, great. If you're going to compare it to this era, whose record is better than Floyd's in this era?
Well, in terms of opposition, taking on challenges.
Yeah. The only other person I think you can bring across at the moment is Kovalev.
Well, Kovalev in recent years, last year or so, has done good work. But you look at a guy like Carl Froch, who fought Andre Ward. Andre Ward, I thought, clearly, decisively beat him. But you can make the argument that Carl Froch has taken bigger challenges, tougher fights, and done smarter business. And that's why he's made more money. And he's still going to go down the Hall of Fame.
But Carl Froch had a Super 6.
Yeah.
Carl Froch didn't have a Super 6. Where would Carl Froch be today?
No, look, I feel you. I feel you.
That Super 6 made a lot of those fights because all those fighters that were part of the Super 6 fought one another. There was no ducking and diving. They had to fight one another.
Yeah.
Unless you had medical issues. Then you had to leave the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, suddenly come back afterwards after those medical issues are cleared up. But anyway, the Super 6, you know, those guys all got to fight one another. There was no sort of ducking there. If there was a mandatory Super 6 in every weight division.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Look at that. Al Heyman, are you listening?
Yeah. Al Heyman could do it at welterweight right now. He could do it at welterweight. But,
look at that.
Yeah, you know.
Then that sort of cuts out all the fanboy talk because you have to fight. But if you don't fight, then you are clearly ducking because it's in, you got to fight this person, that person, this person.
Right.
Ward knew he had to fight Kessler. He was going to fight Froch. He knew he was going to fight after Abraham. Do you understand?
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah.
There was no
running. My only problem with the Super 6, well, two things. First of all, it took too damn long, right? And secondly, Andre Ward was the only fighter who did not have to travel in that whole tournament. He's the only guy who got to fight exclusively in America, mostly here in California. So, you know, those other fighters, I guess they didn't have the name recognition Ward had, so they came here. But now, I mean, I would love to see more tournaments like that. You know, I mean, every division you think of, it just instantly be cleared up. Well, not instantly. It'd take a year or two. But it'd be cleared up. Absolutely.
Even when Don King did that middleweight thing. Look at what Don King did for Bernard Hopkins.
People diss Don King a lot, but man, he put on some great fights back in the day. Now, after the 90s, yeah. But before that, man, he put on some great fights, man. Same thing with Bob Arum. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, now things are so polarized, man. I feel like all these promoters, like your Golden Boys, your Top Ranks, even the smaller ones like Main Events, Hearn over where you're at, and some of these guys in Asia, they, in theory, can all work together. And Al Heyman's trying to kind of do like a Dana White UFC thing in boxing. I just think boxing's too global. I just think you can't do that in boxing. I don't know, man. I don't know how that's going to work out.
As you know, or you may know, he was from the Motown, and he managed a lot of the top entertainers.
Yeah.
So Al Heyman's kind of got that experience and that know-how that, you know, let's say like coming into boxing, it gives him a bit more versatility, does it not?
Yeah, it does. He knows what he's doing. From a business sense, he's freaking smart.
And if you want to talk about hating, if you want to talk about real hating, Golden Boy, Top Rank, if they could do what Al Heyman did, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that Al Heyman did it and beat them to it and shocked them to it, when they probably were given the opportunity to try and do it. Because look, here's a situation. You can come to guy and say, you know what, we can boost your social media career, we can do this, we can do that for you. And you ignore me. Then I go somewhere else and they give it to another guy. The other guy takes it and he's making 100 million off of it. Then you're hating. And then you're trying to take him to court because he's making 100 million. But that's stupidness.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the guy's gone and done something for you know, we're getting good fights out of it. Yes, we've got some catchweight fights, which I don't like. I hate them. But if there's not a title online, I don't care. Do as many catchweights as you want.
I just don't like it if the title's involved. It's shit.
No.
Yeah.
No.
When Pacquiao fought Margarito for a light middleweight title, I wanted to throw up. That should not have been that's the kind of shit I hate. And now Cotto and Canelo, they're calling this fight the middleweight championship. It's not a middleweight championship fight. It's 155 pounds.
Did Ray Leonard do something like that? He fought somebody.
Yeah. They've done catch weights forever. It's not a new phenomenon. It's getting to be more and more common. But on that note, I gotta bounce, man. I got another call coming up in 7 minutes. Let's do this again, brother. I had fun, man. Let's do this again very soon.
You said you're gonna. You said to put in 90 minutes. Do you want to do something after the 90 minutes? Or are you gonna be too tired?
Are you gonna be awake?
I'll stay awake.
Well, I don't know how long this call is gonna take. I don't know how long I'll be on there, but if I get a chance during the call, I'll message you and let it just keep you updated.
Sounds good.
All right, man.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. We'll do it again.
Okay.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you.